Hello and welcome to Colorado Mountain College. My name is Joseph Police and I'm going to be your online math teacher this semester. This class that you're in is a part of the School of Transitional Education. This is often called developmental education as well. But this is, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that is in the next couple of minutes. But I just want to introduce myself. Again, my name is Joseph Police, and this is a video about the online course orientation. So I'm going to teach you how to be a student in this class, kind of the expectations of, how to do homework, how to take notes, how to, how I'm going to grade you and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go over the syllabus in this video as well. A little bit about me. I'm a high school math teacher in Frisco, Colorado. I'm an adjunct CMC professor, so I teach Math 050 and Math 055, and then I do a lot of concurrent enrollment for the high school that I teach at. The reason I am a teacher at the school that I'm a teacher at is because I specialize in flipped, blended, and online learning. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about why I teach this way, and why it's so powerful and how you can become a better student from it. So we'll see in a bit. Okay, so just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the School of Transitional Education. This school is also called the School of Developmental Education, and so the point of this class and these classes that are in this part of Colorado Mountain College is to prepare you for college level courses and your degree requirements, okay? And so, one thing that you have to understand is that even though you are in college, these courses are preparing you for college level, okay? So what these courses do is they provide you the additional skills that you're going to need for college level courses. You were probably placed in this class based by an AccuPlacer score or some sort of standardized test score like an SAT. Okay, and the difference between the School of Transitional Education or DevEd and your normal CMC classes is that the credits for this class count towards your GPA only and not your degree. It can sometimes be part of like an admission into your degree. I know for like nursing, for example, you need Math 055 in order to get into the nursing program, and I think that you're done with classes. But one of the things that I want you guys to do is talk to your advisor about what math classes you need for your degree. Okay. And that's really important that you have a clear picture as to what you need to take. And make sure that, when you take a math class, so, right now it's, whatever semester it is, you should be making sure that you are taking a math class the next following semester, okay? Because right now, when you're in this class, it's going to be fresh. All right, you want to make sure that by the next time that you can take the next opportunity you can take a class, that you're taking a math class. And you want to keep that ball rolling, because if you take a semester off or you take a year off, you're not going to remember everything that was taught to you in the class that you're currently in. So it's really important that you talk to your advisor about that and you knock these credits out. The other thing that I do want to mention about this, sorry that I'm going, bottom to top here, is if you were to fail or withdraw from this course, this can affect financial aid. So if you are receiving financial aid, you do need to be aware that if you do end up failing this class or you withdraw for whatever reason, that you want to make sure that that doesn't affect your financial aid, okay? And so what we call that is the Satisfactory Academic Progress, or SAP. And you're going to want to talk to your financial aid advisor about that if you have any questions. So I just wanted to make sure, the portion of this video, guys, is to make sure that you understand what kind of credit you're getting in this class and how that plays a role in your degree. Everyone's going to be different, okay? So it's something that you got to talk to your advisor about and make sure that you're, in the right place. There's nothing wrong with being in this class. Okay, simply what it says is that we need to, give you some more skills in order to take those college level courses, even though you are in college, okay? But we want to make sure that before you start taking those college level courses, that you have the necessary skills to be successful in those courses, okay? All right. All right, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what flipped, blended, and online learning is. And before I do that, I want to tell you a little story. In the summer of 2012, at the high school I used to work at in Kansas City, they wanted me to teach calculus, okay? And before I taught calculus, I had to go and brush up on my trigonometry, which is like an aspect of math that you kind of have to know before you do calculus. And so, I hadn't done trigonometry in about, 8 years. And so I went back to brush up, and I did what I normally would do, is I would get the book, and I started reading the book. Now, I had about 2 weeks to brush up on all of my trigonometry. And what happened is that I, within about, I probably read the book for about 2 hours. I got through one page, and I had more questions than I had answers to. And I got really frustrated, and I had about 100 pages to get through of material. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to take way too long. I don't have any other resources. But then what I decided to do to try to answer some of my questions, I went to YouTube and I typed in trigonometry. And what happened was I had a list of videos that popped up. And I watched videos for about another 2 hours. And I was able to brush up on all of my trigonometry in 2 hours. So what I thought about when I said, look, it took me 2 hours to brush up on something via video versus something that would have taken me weeks, maybe months to do via book. And so I had this idea. Now, I'm not the first person to have this idea, but it's the concept of using videos to learn, okay? And I embarked on this thing called the flipped classroom. Since I've moved to Colorado and working at a school that we use a lot of this stuff, I started doing a lot of things like blended learning and all that. So they're all kind of similar, but what you guys are really going to be focusing on right now is the online learning aspect. And so what I've done is I have taken the concept of the flipped classroom and blended learning, and I've turned it and made that into a cool form of online learning. So, one of the cool things about the ability to learn via video is that this becomes a very personalized learning experience for you. I want you to think back to the last math class that you were ever in. And I want you to think about what happened when the teacher was up at the board teaching. And when they were up at the board teaching, you probably understood what they were doing, and you were able to follow along. Maybe you had some questions here and there. But then, flip forward 5 to 6 hours, and all of a sudden it's time for you to do the homework, and you're looking at a set of notes, and you're looking at the book, and you're wondering to yourself, what am I supposed to do? Now, when the teacher did it, it was really easy. But now that I'm doing it on my own, it's really hard. And I always had this problem growing up. I was this type of math student, and I would come home and I'd start working on math, and I'd be like, wait a second, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I wouldn't do anything, and I'd go to class the next day, and I'd be like, hey, I don't understand what I was supposed to do last night. And that was a problem because I wasn't using my time efficiently. And I wasn't learning to the best of my ability. And so what I realized was, I often at the time sat there and said, what if I had a video that explained how to do this so that when I was stuck, I could go back and rewatch that video to brush up on what I was doing. So, that's the type of, math student that I was. And this concept of using videos to learn really, really, really helps that type of learner, which I think is almost everybody, okay? So the cool thing about this is that this becomes very personalized. You have the ability to stop, pause, rewind, speed up, slow down the video so that you can learn at your own pace. And so it's self-paced, okay? So you're not going to be sitting there in class saying, hey, I don't want to raise my hand and ask a question because I don't want to slow the class down. You can go at your own pace. You can do whatever you want. Okay. So the cool other thing, is the convenience of this. Is that you can do this class on your own time and you can do it anywhere that you have an internet connection. Okay, which is one of the really cool things about online learning. But the most important thing that you have to do is you must learn how to be a student in this type of class. Okay, and we're going to learn how to do that here in a second. So sit back, and what I want you guys to do is to get out that the syllabus and note packet that that is on the syllabus orientation assignment. I want you to make sure you have that printed out. We're going to go over how to take notes and how to be a student in this online class in the next part of the video. All right, so in this portion of the video, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how to take notes. And so what I want you to notice is that this page here that you see matches what you guys have printed out from the syllabus orientation PDF that's on Canvas. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to talk about how to take notes. All right, so I'm going to write on this part of the paper, and what I want you guys to do is to follow along and write down what I write down, okay? And the purpose of this, how this class works, is we're going to practice taking notes. All right, and that's our objective for this, all right? So we're going to talk about various things about this class, but this is kind of the practice on how to take notes. And let's go ahead and start this. So the purpose of the videos, okay, now the purpose of the videos, guys, is that we want to learn from the videos. Oops. From the videos, okay? That's the point of them, all right? And that's where you guys are going to do the majority of your learning. Now, when we, your way to access the videos, so these are accessible, so you can access them on Canvas, okay? Or you can access them on YouTube as well, okay? And the important thing is that we learn from the videos. Okay, I can't stress that enough, that you learn. This is where you learn in this class. So you learn from the videos, okay? And this is very important that we understand that. Okay, so very important that we understand that that's where we are learning, okay? And the cool thing about having videos and learning from the videos is you have the ability to pause, rewind, speed up, or slow down the videos, okay? And that's a feature that's on YouTube, is that you have the ability to pause, rewind, speed up, slow down anything. So if you feel like, hey, I know this pretty well, I can go through this at a pretty fast pace, that's fine. If you want to slow down the video to have it make more sense so that you have more time to write, that's cool too. Cool thing is that you can pause, you can rewind, and go back through. All right. The other thing about the purpose of the videos is that there isn't a designated time that this class meets, so you have to create time. So where is the time that you're going to utilize the videos? You have to make time for this class, okay? And that's important, okay? Now, right now, this is a 5 credit hour course, okay? And what's recommended is that, for a 5 credit hour course, that you spend, for every credit hour of courses that you're taking, that you're spending 2 to 3 hours per credit hour working outside of class. So what that means, basically, for this class, the recommended time is anywhere from 10 to 15 hours per week, okay? Now, I'm going to be pretty real with you guys. this is the most important thing about the class, is that you find the time to do this per week. If you don't, this class will be a struggle, okay? This class takes time. Learning math takes time, okay? It's not something that you're going to hear once and simply absorb. You need to practice. You need to do homework. You need to watch the videos. It is going to take time. This is only recommended, okay? I've known people that can spend probably a little bit less than this. I've seen students that have spent more time than this per week. But the bottom line is that you have to spend a certain amount of time doing this class. Otherwise, it's going to be a struggle, okay? Now, if you do spend this amount of time per week on this class, that's something, and you will be fine, okay? If you spend time and you're working and you're following all the directions I give you, you're going to be fine. But I just want to make sure that I have this information out there, and that's the expectation, is that you are doing this on your own, okay? All right, the other cool thing about the videos is that you can go back and rewatch, okay? So, there are times where we will have an opportunity to meet virtually, but you have the ability to rewatch the videos, okay? So that if you have a question and you're going, hey, I've got all day to work on this, I can't meet with Joe for a while, then, you have the ability to go back and rewatch those videos, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to take notes, okay? Taking notes is a very difficult skill to learn, okay? Oftentimes I remember, when I would take notes, I would, go through them. I would take notes, write everything down the teacher says, and then when I went back to, to go look at my notes to see if they could help me answer a question, oftentimes I'd look at my notes and I'd have no idea what, the teacher would say. Okay, so it's really important that we know how to take notes because, the point of taking notes is that you learn from your notes, okay? So, all right, first of all, okay, strategies for taking notes is you want to write down everything, that the teacher writes. Okay, that the teacher writes. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, so you want to write those things down. Okay, but the biggest important thing about notes is that you want to make sure that you understand the notes. Okay, that is the biggest aspect of this. Understand your notes. Okay, because if you don't understand your notes, well then what are you doing? Why are you writing notes? Okay, there's no point. Okay, so the other tactic about taking notes and making sure that you understand what you're doing is that sometimes you may want to write down what the teacher says but doesn't write. Okay, and that's important because, there are times when I'll be explaining a concept and I'll be, describing that concept and you'll want to, maybe jot down some of those things that I'm saying, okay? Another tactic for taking good notes is writing down step-by-step instructions. So write down step-by-step instructions on how to do things. Okay. All right. The other thing that you can do is, let's say you're stuck on something while you're, watching a video. You should also be writing down questions you have. And that's a really good tactic, okay? Writing down questions you have. And sometimes I will answer those questions in the video. Sometimes I may not, okay? And so those are things that you can, often, after the video say, hey, I got a question, I don't understand this aspect of, the video. And that's totally normal and that's totally fine, but it's important you write those things down. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about on how to take notes is that you will have to turn these in for a grade. So you will turn in for a grade. Okay, and that's really important that we do this because I do take a grade on this. Okay, all right, and so let's kind of talk about that, and let's talk how to do homework and turn it in. So we'll turn homework the same way in as we turn in notes, and I'll talk about that. But the one thing I want to talk about here is that homework is due weekly on Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so homework and your notes and all the things that are due for the week are due on Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. Okay, I do accept late work, but I got to keep some sort of schedule. And so Thursdays at midnight is the time at which I expect things to be done. I know you guys have lives. I know that you may take a day or two to get those in, but it's really important that we try to get those in Thursdays at midnight, okay? So let's talk about how to do homework. First things first, homework is done out of the book, okay? Homework is done out of the book. All right, so make sure that you get the book, and we'll talk about that with that information's in your syllabus with the ISBN number and all that kind of stuff. So it's important that we get that purchased here soon, and that information can also be found online on Basecamp. So homework is also done on notebook paper or some sort of paper. Okay. All right, and you will, but the difference is that you will turn this in online. Okay, so you'll turn it in on Canvas. So turn in online on Canvas. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. And what I want you to do for that, in order to turn it in online, is you'd want to scan this in. So scan in as a PDF. Okay, and that's how you'll turn those in. There are apps on the phone that you can use to scan those in. There are, like Tiny Scanner and things like that. But the other, the other main scanner that you can use is simply, if you have an iPhone, you can use the Notes app through, and you can scan in PDFs that way. Okay. Now, we're doing homework. One of the things that you'll have to do is check your answers. Okay, so how to check your answers. And what I'll provide with you guys are the solutions. So solutions to the homework will be online. So solutions are posted online. Okay. And so, it's important that you check your answers, okay? So when you're, doing your homework, one of the things that you'd want to do is you want to sit there and the first question that you want to ask yourself is, am I correct? Okay, so the first question you'd ask yourself is, am I correct? All right, when you're checking your work, okay? And then the second question you'd want to ask yourself is, let me write this down, second question is my work correct? So does the work that I have or my logic match what the teacher has? So is the work correct? All right. And that's really important. It's important that to get from point A to point B, is your work logical? Is it correct? Okay. All right. So the other thing is that if you're wrong, Okay, so if you get a question wrong, so if you're wrong, all right, can you explain the teacher's step-by-step process? Okay, can you explain the step-by-step process on the solutions? Okay, and that's kind of a unique. Can you? Okay, so let me put a question mark here. Okay, I want to talk about that for just a quick minute here. Okay, so when you're checking your solutions, okay, if you're wrong, okay, so let's say you're doing homework and you get something wrong, can you go through my work and go step by step and understand what I did from step to step? When you can do that and you understand that flow of my work, that is a way to learn math, okay? And that's something that you guys have to do on your own. So the solutions, the answers can help you understand how to do the problems, okay? Now, the important thing is that you don't just simply copy, okay? So that you, all right, so do not copy, all right? You will not learn anything from simply copying answers online, okay? The point of this is that you want to use the solutions for understanding, okay? These are a tool, all right? Use solutions for understanding, okay? Not to simply copy. And there's a reason why I'm doing this, okay? And this is one of the cool things that's going to help you learn in this class. And it's the most important part of this class, is that you are going to record yourself doing math, okay? And this is the most important part of the course, all right? So this is the most important part of the course. All right. And this is where you're going to do the most learning, okay? So let's talk about what my expectations are for this, okay? The important thing is when you record yourself doing math, okay, I want to hear your voice and see you write. Much like how you're seeing this now, okay? You know, you don't see my face on this, but you can hear my voice and you can see what I'm writing, okay? So that is I have to have that, okay? This is a must. If I don't see what you're writing down as you're saying it, I can't grade that, okay? I have to really see what you write and hear your voice, okay? Now, in order to record yourself, you have to choose a method of recording. So choose a method of recording that works for you, okay? So choose a method of recording. Now, what I use, guys, is I use an iPad and I use a software called Explain Everything. Now, I had to buy the iPad and I had to pay for the software. So, you know, the key to this is I don't want you to go out and have to do exactly what I'm doing. If you have an iPad and you have a stylus and you're capable of doing that and uploading those videos into Canvas, then that's great. But, you know, let's kind of think of like some options that you can use. You can use a tablet, all right, and you can write on it just like how I'm doing. You can use a phone, okay? And what I mean by that is you could hold your phone up, all right, hold the phone up so that and show your writing. Hold the phone up and then show your writing. Okay, that's probably the most preferred way. I feel like this method here is probably the best because you guys all have phones, okay, and that's a pretty easy thing to do, okay. The other thing that you can do is use your computer, okay. Your computer has a webcam, okay. So you can use your webcam and a whiteboard. And what I'm noticing is that some of you guys already have already taken one of my classes and you're familiar with that process. Okay, so you can use a webcam on your computer and a whiteboard and write on that. Okay. And so, but the main thing is, if you're going to use your webcam and a whiteboard, the important thing is that I need to see you write. So, and hear your voice. It may be awkward. It may take a little bit of getting used to, but those are some ways that I want you to do. So, be aware that this may take time to troubleshoot. Okay, this may take time to troubleshoot. All right, especially with uploading the videos into Canvas, okay? And we'll talk about like file size and all that kind of stuff. Okay, the other thing is you're probably sitting there going, all right, taking a math class online is very different, okay? How do you ask for help in an online setting, okay? And the cool thing is that every week I hold virtual office hours. Depending on what class you're in, there is a set time per week that I can do that. So, if you're, I'll label that in the next part of the video, depending on if you're in Math 050 or 055. So virtual office hours, and this is done through WebEx. So the cool thing is that, CMC, so done through this program called WebEx. And what it does, I basically sit in front of my computer. I have my webcam on me, and you guys will log in. I'll be able to see your face or hear your voice, and then you will be able to see. I'll be able to plug in my iPad, and I'll be able to actually write in real time, and we can have a conversation, and I can go over stuff with you in real time, okay? So, pretty cool thing that we have. So virtual office hours, utilize them, okay? And so let's just write down that we can talk in real time. Okay. I can instruct in real time. So I can instruct in real time. Okay. And that's pretty powerful. So if you're sitting there and you're like, hey, I got a question, and it's over just, something pretty quick and easy, I can write on the iPad and we can have a conversation, and it's pretty cool. The other thing that you can do is, in here, let's talk about this. Virtual office hours, those happen typically between 6 and 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Depending on what class you're in, it won't be every day, but, so like one class will run Monday and Wednesday. The other class that I teach will run Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay? So I can't remember which one's which, but so it's only going to be 2 days a week that I'll hold this, okay? If those times don't work for you, you can schedule a time, okay? I am rather flexible. If there's a time, say early in the morning or directly after school, that's a time that we can, meet if that works for you. If 6 to 8 p.m. is like absolutely not happening, let me know. Okay, if you want to get together, we can get together. All right, but you have to make sure that you schedule that time with me and make sure it works. Okay, I do have a life, believe it or not, and I do things outside of working. I have a full-time job, guys. I work from 7:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. and then I do this stuff in the evening. So if there is a time that works a little bit better for you, we can make that work. But it's important that you do this. Okay. The other thing that you can do is you can send me an email, send a picture of your question. Okay, and I will respond with a video. Okay, I can quickly make a video and just send it off to you. So respond with a video. Okay, the other thing that you can do, if you want to, you can just send me a video. Okay, and telling me where you're having trouble. All right, so a lot of different ways where you can ask questions and get help from me. Okay. One of the things that we got to talk about is where to take exams. Okay, you are going to take 4 total assessments. Okay, 4 total assessments. All right, 2 will be take-home exams. Okay, 2 are take-home, and we're going to call those tests. So 2 take-home tests. Okay. And then you will take 2 proctored exams. And a proctored exam means that you have to go to a CMC location. All right, let's write this down first. Okay, hold on. So 2 take-home tests, and those will be scanned in as a PDF. So scanned as a PDF. Okay. When you take your proctored exam, this will be done at a CMC testing location. So done at a CMC testing location. All right. You will have to schedule this. So these are scheduled in advance, and I'll talk more about that. Scheduled in advance during a certain week, okay? During a specific time. All right, so there will be a week where you'll have to take your midterm and your final, and those will have to be done at CMC. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about here is your grading policy, okay? And your grading policy is as such. You have homework and notes, okay? You have weekly demonstration of skills, okay, which I call recording yourself. So weekly demonstration of skills. Okay, and this is going to be where you record yourself. Record yourself. Okay. The last thing that we have are tests and exams. Okay. Now, within each of these, your homework and your notes accounts for 5% of your grade. This is weighted. Okay. The weekly demonstration of skills, when you record yourself, is a whopping 35%. Okay? Tests and exams are going to be 65%. Or no, 60%, sorry. Okay? Now, here's what you need. In order to pass, okay, this is very, very important. So, in order to pass the class, all right, you must earn at least a 75%. Must earn at least 75%. Okay? So I put the videos, the weekly demonstration of skills, as a very high weight because this is the most important part of the class. Okay, it's important, yes, that you do your homework and you do. It should be HW, not HM. Homework and notes is important. That's where you do your learning. But this is where you are going to learn the most. Okay, and then you have to perform on a test or exam. Okay, so that's how the breakdown is going to go. And I just want to make sure that that's clear, that you guys understand that. All right. So, I want you to take a look at this. All right. I wrote very, very, very small when I wrote these notes down. Okay. You will need to write small. Okay. Because I write small. All right. But utilize your space. If you need a couple extra pieces of paper, all the notes will be provided to you. This is how, my videos typically run. But I wanted to make sure that I went through, not only how to take notes and some strategies for taking notes, but just kind of like how to be a student in this online class, okay? And if you follow these instructions, you will be very successful, okay? And the most important thing, remember, is your time, okay? It's going to take time. So if you're not prepared to spend that kind of time, or any time, all right, then, it's not going to happen, okay? You are in college. You are going to have to do this thing called put in the good old college try, which means you actually just kind of sit down and do the work. So, all right, so that's it for this portion of the video. The next part, we're going to go over the syllabus, important dates, and things like that. So hang tight. Okay, so on this part of the video, this is your syllabus, and I just want to go through this and talk about some, various aspects of this. On the first page, I want to talk about some of this information here. Okay, the format of this class is online. You are in algebraic literacy. Here is the course code, fall 2018. This is a 4-credit class, okay? The 5th credit comes from your co-requisite, which is your Math 025. This is your lab class. Now, everybody needs to be enrolled in Math 025 in order to get credit for Math 055. On Math 025, that's our lab class. You guys will have weekly discussions in that class, and you will also have your exam reviews in that class, okay? We are starting this class on Monday, August 27th, okay? That is when classes start. The end date is December 14th, okay? You will have to have your final completed by December 14th. The refund date, so if you, are in this class and you decided that it's not that it's not for you and that you want to maybe not take a math class right now, your refund date is September 12th, 2018. Let's say that you get through the majority of the semester and you're at a point where you're like, hey, I don't think I can finish this class, or I want to drop it. The last day to drop the class with a W is November 18th. Okay, so that's really important. And I will remind you guys of all of these dates, as we go through. Okay. As we move through this document, I'm going to go through this kind of quick. Here are your required course materials. You guys will have the opportunity. CMC provides all textbooks to you at a flat rate of $26 per credit, okay? And so what you will need to do is to, log on and to get the book. So if you want, the e-text version, here's the ISBN. Here's the print version ISBN. The textbook that we're going to use is called Intermediate Algebra, Concepts and Applications. It's by Bittinger, and it's the 10th edition, okay? The other materials that you'll need is you will need a computer with internet access, okay? You will also need a method to record yourself doing math, okay? So this would be, your cell phone, webcam on your computer, or tablet device. You can do the math when you record yourself on paper, a whiteboard, or a tablet device. So whatever works for you, okay? The other thing that you're going to need in this class is a basic calculator. At CMC testing centers, you will not be allowed to use your cell phone as a calculator, okay? And then you will need a notebook, paper, and pencils, okay? My information is here, okay? Again, my name is Joseph Police. My CMC phone number, this is really just my cell phone number, and you guys can utilize that if you need to get a hold of me. Here's my email address. Whichever one you guys deem necessary. Typically, leave me a voicemail because we get all those robocalls, and I don't usually pick up my phone if I don't have the number. So, the other thing is office hours. Okay, these are by appointment only. Okay, outside of the other dates that I do them. So Tuesdays and Thursday evenings is when I will hold office hours on WebEx. I will send you guys an email that gives you a link as to how, and I'll send that every time I do office hours. And that will be a link to log on to WebEx, okay? And there are certain nights where I will be unavailable, and I will let you know when those occur, all right? Okay, on page 2, what this shows is this goes through the course description, things that we will cover in this class, and certain standards, okay? And that should be the same on the next page. All right, and so that kind of continues on through here on page 3. And then I do want to talk about evaluation methods, and this is how I grade you. So how this works is your grade will be determined by the following, okay? We have homework assignments and we have guided notes, and those are collected weekly, and that's Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. And homework guided notes is 5% of your grade. Your weekly demonstration of skills via video, due the same time, is 35% of your grade. That's a big chunk of your grade. So this is the most important part of your learning experience, okay? This is where you learn. By doing the assignments and doing the notes, but your demonstration of that you know what to do is very, very important. Tests and exams are 60%. So tests are completed at home, okay, and you'll scan those in and send those to me. Exams, your midterm and final, are completed at any CMC testing center, and I'll show you what weeks we are doing those. Okay, grading scale. So here's what so here's your grading scale, okay, as you can see. The important thing you need to see here is that in order to pass the course, you must earn a grade of a C- or a C, which is a 75% or better. Notice how D goes from a 60% to a 74%, okay? So need to make sure that you get a 75% or better, all right? Let's talk about classroom management. So all written assignments should include your name, date, and assignment that's given. These assignments need to be submitted online as a scanned PDF or as a picture. I would much, much prefer a scanned PDF. All these weekly assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. each Thursday night unless I indicate otherwise, okay? Work will be accepted late with no penalty, but it is highly discouraged. So guys, if you fall behind in this class, it is not a good thing. I very, very recommend working ahead, okay? Attendance in the online class is extremely important. Students are encouraged to spend some time each day working on the class. You should spend roughly about 15 hours per week on this class to ensure success. Make sure that you guys respect each other. That's what that says. If you are experiencing problems with the class, it is your responsibility to tell me, okay? I will help you. Calculators should only be used as instructed by the teacher. I will post homework and test grades on Canvas. Be sure to check Canvas regularly to help you know how you are doing in this class. This section down here talks about how to be successful in this class. So first things first, be an active learner, okay? That's the first thing. Watch all the videos, take good notes. You should learn from the videos and rewatch if need be. Follow my example and practice, okay? It is very important that you do your homework. It is a proven statistic that the more time you spend on homework, the better you do in class, okay? You will need to participate in weekly discussion posts. That's going to be on your lab class, okay? The other thing is record your videos. Video is the most important part of the learning experience. If you can explain how to do the problem to someone else, then you will know. Sorry, that's my bell at school. All right. If you can explain how to do the problems to someone else, then you will know the material very well. Okay, and you will do much better on the exams. Check your homework with the answers in the back of the book and by the solutions I provide you online. Okay. And make sure you guys, if you have trouble with any of that, meet with me virtually on WebEx. Okay. The other option is, guys, you can also read your textbook. Okay. That is a way for you to learn. All right. That's what a lot of people had to do before we had all this technology. Okay. Make sure you guys organize your schedule, guys. I can't stress time enough. Plan time to study for each of your classes each week. Think about the best time it is for you to study each day. If you aren't a night owl, don't plan your study time at night. Study math first if it is a difficult subject for you. Okay, next page. Okay, last thing, you will have an opportunity to meet with other students if you guys, live in the same town, because I know you guys will be all over, the state of Colorado. It's important that, if you want to study in groups, that's a great idea, okay? If you do not like how I teach, there are other resources out there like Khan Academy and Purple Math that have instructional videos on how you can learn, okay? The next part about this is the tentative course schedule. So how you read this, this has the week number, okay? I believe there are 16 weeks. This shows us what sections you are doing during that week. So right now, this is your syllabus orientation. This is your first assignment, okay? And then all of the things that are due are here. And mainly what that is the homework, notes, and recording yourself, okay? And all that information can be found on Canvas, and Canvas will have the due dates on there as well. Okay, notice that by week 4, you have your first test, and this will be a take-home test, okay? So this will have a due date of, I believe, the Friday night at midnight for your tests. But I'll make sure that that's clear on your syllabus or clear on Canvas and all that. So this is when your test 1 is due. Now, when you have test 1, it'll cover all these topics up to 4.3. Okay. All right, let's see what's on the next page. Okay, so on this page, you can see how we continue through this. By week 8 is when you have your midterm exam, and this is proctored at CMC. So during this week of October 16th and 18th is when you will need to take your midterm exam, okay? You will need to call a testing center at CMC and schedule this, for you to go in and take it. If there are issues with that, please let me know so that we can work together and work through it, okay? As we continue on, we've got, Chapter 7 continues on. By week 12, okay, you have your third take-home test, okay? This will be due at the end of this week. It will cover Chapter 7, okay? After that, okay, what you notice is that Thanksgiving, we don't have any classes Thanksgiving week, okay? That's a catch-up week. We will have three sections to go through, through by week 14. And then week 15, that's your time to review for the final. That will be the time where you can catch up. And then the last week that you have is your final exam, and that is proctored at a CMC location, just like how your midterm exam is, okay? So this tells you what is due. This tells you what we are doing that week, and then tells you what week we are doing it. So that's your schedule for the year. This will all match up with due dates on Canvas. Okay, so have this here. This tells you when things are due, but also check Canvas as well. Okay, if you are, this syllabus will be available to you online. Everything in here is on Canvas. Okay, that's where you will find all the videos, all homework assignments, all the notes, everything that you will need is housed in Canvas, grades, all that stuff. In order to get to this page, you had to watch the video navigating Canvas. Here's that same link for that same video, so if you want to take a look at that, you can. There is also, guys, if I'm not available, there are resources at all CMC locations and online that'll give you tutoring options. Okay, so make sure that you, take a look at this and you go through there. And we have a virtual library that is open 24/7. This is mainly for research purposes, which we won't really use. But if you want to go on and see what they've got and see if they've got any sort of other videos, then I would go to the virtual library. So that is it for the syllabus. And you can access this online, or you can, you have the printed copy there as well. So Canvas, the assignment, and then print it out. All right, back to the video. All right, so on this part, I want to talk about how to take notes and turn them in. So one of the hard things about an online class is my ability to check your work, to check to see if you've done it, if you've done what I've asked you to do. And so what we have to do is we have to do this, turn things in digitally. All right, so the first things first, what I want you to do is, have your computer open and have your notes out. Okay, and then whenever I write on the computer, then you write out on your notes. Okay, when you're done with that, when you've watched the video and you've taken all the notes, what I want you to do is then take a picture of your notes, okay, and put a smile on your face because we're having fun when we do this. But when you have this, you can either take a picture of the actual notes themselves, or you can, but the difference is that you get kind of all this extra stuff on the sides and all that. So what you could do is scan it in with your phone, okay? And there's an app for that. And that app is called the Tiny Scanner PDF scanner. So what you would do, what it does is it takes the camera on your phone and it turns it into a PDF scanner. So what I would want you to do, if you do the PDF scanner, you'll create a document that is, your notes, okay? So you would have a document that does this. Or what you can do is you can do, take the photo and paste it into a Word document. And then save as a PDF, okay? And you can do that too. I would prefer you to do it as a PDF. In any case, I want you to turn in PDFs, okay? But if you do, I would prefer if you guys scan them in as a PDF before you do anything. But that's kind of my preference. But if you want to take a photo and put it and paste it into a Word document, you can do that too. Okay, now what I mean by that is take a photo. You may want to email it to yourself and then put it into a Word document, save it as a PDF. And then, the cool thing is, guys, is that not only do you have like a physical copy of this, but you have a digital copy as well, okay? And a part of this, to practice this, to turn it in, I actually want you to do the same thing with the notes from your orientation, okay? So right now, what I would like you to do is to practice this by physically taking and doing this, taking a scanner, scanning in a photo, and putting it into a PDF, and then turning it in on Canvas. Okay, so you turn them in on Canvas, and it'll be the assignment. So there's instructions on that page on Canvas that tells you what to do. Okay, so now let's talk about doing homework. Okay, on this part, how to do homework and turn it in, you'll turn it in the same way. So you'll turn it in the same way as you would notes. So turn it in, and that's going to be the same way as notes. Okay, and you've had practice on doing that, on Canvas. But I want you to take a look at this picture. Okay, when you're doing homework, there's a couple of things I want you to consider here. Okay, number one is that your notes are out. Okay, so here, what I want you to see here is that you have your notes are out. Okay, and you also have the video out. Okay, and so what happens is that as you're going through problems, what you should do is you should look at your notes and say, okay, if I'm trying to do this problem, what did I do in my notes? Now, if you go into your notes and you say, okay, wait a second, this doesn't make any sense, you should go back to the video and rewatch the video. What did we do in the video that helped us do the problem in the notes? And then how could we apply that to do it from the book, okay? And then you would do your homework on a piece of paper, okay? And what I'd want you to then do is turn it in the same way as you would the notes, okay? And then I'll grade it, accordingly. So, but that's the idea. Okay, now the other thing is that you can also use the homework solutions, okay? Use the solutions to help you understand how I got the answer. So use it to understand. So use it to understand, okay, and not to copy. Okay, and so we've already kind of talked about all that kind of stuff, and you can access the homework solutions on Canvas. Okay, those will be available to you on Canvas as well. All right, so that about does it for homework. Okay, and if you've got questions, get a hold of me, please. All right, and that's all I have for that. Okay. Okay, the last little part I want to talk about is recording yourself. Now, what I do is I use a tablet. I use an iPad with a stylus to do this. To get the sound right, what I do is I use the headphones because on the Apple headphones, you have a microphone right here, and so you always consistently get good sound from that. So this is one option, okay? But there is also another option, and the other option is using Canvas, okay? So using Canvas. And this is kind of the preferred option. This is the cheaper option, obviously, as well. So using Canvas, you'll need to go out and get a small whiteboard, okay? And the whiteboards, I've looked on Amazon. The small whiteboard is around like $8, okay? You'll want to get some whiteboard markers as well. So whiteboard markers. And those are a little expensive too, but you can get those at any, Target, Walmart, whatever. And you can also get a small whiteboard at those same places too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to actually do that on Canvas and how to record yourself doing math on Canvas using the whiteboard. Okay, so what I want you to do for this next part, is actually use the camera that's on your computer. Okay, so use the little camera that's right there, and what you'll do is you'll then bring up your whiteboard here, and this is fun. Mine's really big. Yours probably wouldn't be so big, but then what I want you to do is come in here and say, okay, what is, 7 plus 3, okay? I know that 7 plus 3 is equal to 10, and you would make a video explaining that, kind of like what I do, all right? So that's the idea of what I want you to do. Now, on Canvas, there will actually be a portion where you can, the assignment will be for you to actually record yourself doing it, okay? And you'll see that on one of them. So on the assignment for the orientation video, what I want you guys to do is to actually just record yourself talking and introduce yourself to me, and give you points for that. So that's kind of the idea. So make sure you go out and get a whiteboard, get a couple whiteboard markers. This one I think shows up backwards for some reason. Yours probably wouldn't do that. If it does, then we'll deal with that and go from there. But yeah, pretty much it. So. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in a bit. Thanks. All right, so if you're going to record yourself, using your phone to do this, what I would recommend doing is taking your phone, holding it up, and then, writing underneath, okay? And that might be a little bit weird for you, but that might, be a tactic that you can utilize. Okay, when you do that, you're just going to hover your phone over and, just start writing. It is a little weird because you can't really see what you're doing. You may have to tilt your head over to the right so that you can write better. All right, and then kind of follow your phone along to show that you can write. So that's probably one of the easiest ways to do this. But just trying to give you guys as many options as possible to make your videos. Okay, so once you guys have recorded your video and you have that done, go ahead and hit the export button, which is in the bottom left. And what you'll notice is, I have this video that I just did, and that's the one that's selected. Right below that, you can see this thing called AirDrop. So if you have an iPhone and you have a Mac, you can send files between those devices using AirDrop. So if I automatically just click on my Mac, it'll send this over to my Mac. It might take a minute because it's a video, and it takes a minute to do a video. But what it will do is that will then be downloaded by my computer, and I'll have that video on my computer. The other thing that you can do is, and I'm just going to go ahead and decline it because I don't need it. I will in a minute. I'll need this video. So the video of the video, okay, incepted videos, okay. But you can also email it. You could maybe do, however you want to do it, iCloud photo sharing, send it to yourself via text, or Google Drive, or whatever you want to do. There might be some more options here. It just kind of depends on what you have on your phone. So email works. We'll talk about YouTube if we want to go down that road, but I would prefer not. I prefer all these to be uploaded into Canvas. All right, so while we're on the concept of talking about recording yourself, I want to make a couple of quick notes. And the first thing is that your files, when you do upload these videos, can be no longer larger than 5 megabits, okay? But the cool thing is that you can upload as many videos you want into that assignment, but each video can't exceed 5 megabits. So you may, have this issue where you've got too many, your video's too long, you can cut it up, okay? And the other important thing is I must see you writing and hear your voice. I know I've talked about that, but it's so important. What I had in the past is that people, it'd be like this, a webcam on their face, and they'd be writing, and then I wouldn't be able to see what they were writing when they were like this, and then they just show it, okay? I can't have that anymore. We got to figure something out where we can, I need to hear your voice and see what you're writing as you're talking, okay? I think the best bet is to take your phone, hold it above your paper, and record that way, okay? So it's important that we give that a shot. I think that's probably the easiest way. And, transferring those files, those can be done over email, Dropbox, Google Drive, AirDrop if you're using a Mac and an iPhone, those kinds of things. So, that's something that you're going to have to spend some time with trying to figure out what's going to work best for you, okay? And I want to make sure that you guys are, ready and capable to do that, and that this runs smoothly, okay? So that's all I got for this part. Okay, real quick, I want to talk to you guys about some of my expectations for Math 055. Because you're in Math 055, what that means is that you have shown us that you know all the most, if not all, of the concepts from Math 050. Okay, so you are responsible for all prior knowledge like operating with fractions. Now, I will help you with this, but it's also something you can't have that excuse and say, oh, I don't know how to do that, therefore I can't do this problem, okay? So you need to make sure that you remember how to do those types of things. I will help you through that process. Come to office hours and utilize, the resources available to you, okay? The other thing I want to talk about is that not every homework problem will match the problem in the notes. Okay, so you might encounter a homework problem that's like, ugh, this one might be kind of hard. Okay, and you may not have an example like that. I will do my best to make sure that I have made extra videos for you to help you with those types of problems. Okay, so if you want me to make a couple of more videos, just let me know. Okay. The other thing is that office hours and homework should be solutions are your friends. Use them as resources. Okay, so use the solutions. Use office hours to try and figure things out. To try and help you, learn things you may not be comfortable with. Okay, so it's really important that you utilize those resources. Okay, especially homework solutions. Use those to help figure out how to do problems. Okay, so just wanted to go over some of those expectations with you. All right, so just to wrap this up, guys, I want to just talk about a couple things. I know this is a lot of information in this video, but the first thing I want you to understand is that I want you to believe in yourself. Okay, this class is going to be hard. All right. It's going to require a lot of time. It's going to require a lot of effort. But you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. That's the first thing. And I believe in every single one of you. And I know that you can do well in this class. Okay. Now, just to close up, want to talk about a couple things. First things first, communication. I will be sending out a weekly email, an announcement to you guys with regards to things that are going on. You can expect that usually over the weekend on Sundays, and that'll be an announcement on Canvas, and it'll also be, sent to your email. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is that this might be a very brand new way for you to learn math, and that's okay. But I want you to believe in this process. I know it works. I think this is probably one of the best ways for you to learn math. But it's going to require effort on your part, okay? It's going to require you to be an active learner versus a passive learner, okay? And that's really cool, all right? Not many classes can say that. The last thing I'm going to say is success in this class is determined by hard work and time. Remember, guys, 10 to 15 hours per week. Okay, that's recommended. If you can do that, you're going to do great. All right, you got to make time for this. All right, so, guys, let me know if you have any questions. That's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. I can't wait to work with you.